Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today I wanted to take the time to talk about what I am most excited for in Phase 5, now that we've been covering a lot of the changes, the new things that are coming, and playing around on the PTR. I have a much better list that has me stoked, because most of them are confirmed and we know they're coming. Instead of it just being speculatory and wondering what we're going to get, we actually get to see the changes and get to mess around with them before they go in, and it'll be quite an exciting journey. And so I just wanted to share what I'm looking forward to the most with you guys. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to take the time to thank you guys so much. Yesterday we hit 12,000 subscribers on the channel, and I don't know, it's pretty freaking special to me. Every time we hit that next 1,000 mark, I always see it, and it just makes me so happy and puts the biggest smile on my face. And I couldn't do it without you guys that watch the channel every day, support the channel, and just, press that button. So it truly means a lot to me, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So the biggest thing that I am super stoked for is the new epic class weapons. So I've briefly covered them on the PTR and sort of looked into them, but if you haven't, go over there and see them. They are so unique and special. Classic WoW has those weapons for hunters and priests, but sort of doubling down on it and going into BWL and ZG and giving everybody a weapon. The mage one is just super cool. It can switch between all three specs, so it's not like, oh, you get this weapon and you're locked to fire. And they did such a good job of allowing everything to have that Benediction Anathema sort of vibe that you can change it to whatever you're going to be playing as, and I think it is truly awesome, and I can't wait to get them. I really, really hope that it is tied between some epic quest line that takes you throughout. Like, honestly, I'd be fine with a classic world tour that you have to do stuff with Oni, you got to do stuff with the Zergos, Kha'Zix, Molten Core, keep those raids relevant to some degree, and then it ends by like getting Nefarian's head or something like that. You have to kill Nefarian to get it, and it would just be super cool to have like an epic journey tied to the weapon and make you, really have to earn it, because they are pretty much going to be BIS, and they are very, very powerful. And so I just can't wait to see what they're doing with them. It's really like cool to see them be put into the game, but have absolutely no idea how we get them. Like, I guess they could just be simple drops off of, bosses, but I really hope that it's tied to some epic questline that everyone can do. The next thing is I am actually really excited to do the sort of sod twisted, revamped BWL and ZG. I think adding that little sod flavor, that twist to them, makes them fresh and exciting. People always say, oh, they're just, slightly tweaking it. It's not new content, but I disagree with that full-heartedly. Yes, they could make a new raid, I suppose, and that would be actual new content. But, I mean, you're going into a raid and you're doing it in a completely different way. Pretty much the only things that are really the same are the boss's names and some of the abilities they do. They even have a lot of the saw mechanics, which a lot of people did not experience, as well as with the twists, you have to do the fights completely differently, and that makes it fun, that makes it new. And just going in there as a guild leader with the sod saviors and having two full-on raid teams that do the raids every week, I think it'll be really fun to work together and conquer those new bosses with experiencing the new content, as well as getting those fat epics and shiny loot. So I'm super stoked for that. I hope you guys are enjoying the BWL and ZG. I know it's still in the PTR phase, so there's a lot of kinks they got to work out, but early signs, it looks pretty fun and exciting. Now, this is a new thing that I really, have only seen in retail with the Classic project, because we know what we are getting with Classic. Like, we know what's coming next. BIS lists were made 20 years ago. But theory crafting and gear usage are going to be incredible this phase. And you might ask yourself, why? Well, BIS isn't going to be straightforward and easy. We are going to have a 0.5 set. We are going to have a tier 1 set. We are going to have a tier 2 set. We're going to have a ZG set and a PvP set. And the fact of the matter is that each and every one of those sets has a really good 2 or 4 set bonus. And the tier 1 can be Core Forged, which is the tier 2 stats and the Nether Wind set pieces, but with a completely different set bonus of the tier 1 set bonuses that they made and put into the game. So I am super stoked that we will have 5 gear sets to choose from, as well as some off pieces, and it just gets my theory crafting mage brain going. Like, what are we going to use? What gives us the most spell power? What gives us the most spell crit? What gets us hit capped? Is Bloodvine even going to be used on mages? I don't actually know the answer to that. If you asked me this 4 years ago when ZG came out, yes, absolutely was my answer, and it was without a doubt. But like now with our ring runes plus our talents, we might not even have to use Bloodvine, and that's something crazy that I never thought I would say in Classic as a caster player. Now Warlocks will definitely need it because they don't have hit talents, but other, like, it just gets my theory gate crafting brain going, and I think mixing and matching and doing all that work will be really fun for a lot of you guys if you're into theory crafting. I know some people just simply look up a guide and say, oh, go this, it's BIS, but I think BIS is going to be very hard to either achieve or it is going to be very hard to craft, and it might change from scenario to scenario like it does now in Molten Core. Like, your runes aren't even BIS runes for every fight. They're AoE fights where you want to swap out some runes, change some abilities, and those actually change how you play. Like, example, Mage, I don't use Overheat on the AoE fights. I use Frozen Orb, and it's just something really cool to see. And that niche, like, changes and adaptability in raids, that isn't something Classic really had, so it's cool to see it in SOD, and I think how they're going about it is a great way. So I can't wait to get in there and try it and see what awesome BIS lists and gear and theory crafts actually take effect, and it'll be really cool to do. Now the next one is the new currency uses. So the BRE event, it could change, it might stay the same, we don't know that. What I can show you guys is that I do know that with the BRE event, it actually does have a part that takes place in the Burning Steps. Like, it erupts there and you see meteors fly around, and there are some ads that are there as well. However, what you don't see is any daily quests, any mobs, anything like that. I went over there in the PTR and I didn't see anything either. And so it's just really interesting what they plan on doing, if it's just going to be this dailies here in the Searing Gorge, or if we actually will get Burning Steps content. But you know, it erupts and it affects there too, which it makes me think we might actually see something with that as well. But what I do know is that the Fireland Embers were confirmed to be having a greater usage in Phase 5, the devs said it, and that they have increased the Fire and Land Embers stacking to over 1,000 of them instead of just the 100 or 99 that you could have before. So that tells me that we're going to be using them, and we're going to be going to either the Thorium Brotherhood Quartermaster or a new Quartermaster in order to get those Embers. So I can't wait for that. Then the next thing and final point I am excited for is professions via the ZG rep. At the very least, we know we will be getting some new recipes, some new things, and if they tweak Bloodvine, they tweak a lot of those things like they have done in SOD already, pretty much every phase previous. We will see those recipes, those professions be useful, be something to go after, be something you can achieve outside of raid, and, you know, be able to, you know, craft stuff. And I'm always for profession content. I think it is awesome. It's a really cool fantasy, in my opinion, and going out there and, you know, being able to grind a rep, learn a really hard recipe, and be able to, you know, help people get that gear, get that enchant, whatever it is. I'm a big fan of it, if you couldn't tell from all the profession videos I've made on Classic and even retail. I really enjoy professions, but we also could see some new things added too. Very much like they revamped all of the stuff for Molten Core to give us the sort of use the Flare Core stuff and the Fire Res gear that was in the game already, but like it just was kind of slept on. No one really used it. You only really used it if you were a tanking rag, and obviously the heat system won't be applied to BWL or ZG, but you could still use those crafted pieces of gear and sort of add to them, make them used. There are so many pieces in Classic that are just not BIS after the grand revamp that they did, so there's a lot of potential there as well. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. That is what I am most excited for in Phase 5. I would truly love to hear what you guys are excited for, and maybe some things that you're worried about and you're not excited for. I'm just super stoked for Phase 5. The SOD population is holding very strong around that 85,000 number, and I think Phase 5 and the cadence that we are seeing with this is going to catapult that to over 100k again, which we haven't seen since Phase 3 and late Phase 2, which I'm super stoked and hope we can hit it there. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.